We are live.
Uh,
All right.
Hello.
Happy
Happy
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yes. Uh-huh.
Hey, Mika. It's too hot here. My fingers are so sticky. It's gross. Okay, that is kind of gross.
From
Yeah.
the heat. Wow. And you guys don't have air conditioning in Europe, right? So
I
y'all
don't have
don't
air conditioning. Well, I feel like Germany is a country that would have air conditioning. Mika, do you have air conditioning? I do not. I am sweating. I have been sweating, which I don't understand because when I ask
yeah.
what the temperature is, she tells me like the temperature is like 74 degrees. And I'm like, oh, I should probably take a sweater with me when I go outside.
A sweater
Uh,
for you for 74
yeah.
for the nighttime or for the day?
Well, in the evening. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If it's
So it might go
74
down to like 65, right? Which is sweater weather. But even at 74, if I'm just sitting somewhere like in a like an outdoor restaurant or something, I'm gonna get a little chilly at 74.
at 74 you're gonna get a little chilly. Are you sitting in the sun? Are you sitting in the shade or
No, it's evening, right? It's evening. So the sun is not out. It's dark.
I could see maybe needing something or feeling like I could see that potentially, but 74 is whew, 74 is I'm okay. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm good sitting here. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. The post on that it was 74. I'm like, it's kind of cool in here. So maybe I'm wrong. But
Yeah, see, 74 is a little cool. If it was 74 inside like an office building with the air conditioning on, people would be wearing like long sleeves, light sweaters, right? A jacket. Yeah. But spoiler, 74 is really more like 92.
74 is
Because
much
I
higher.
walk outside in my t-shirt like this, and it's like the heat wave hits me.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't feel that way at 74 at all. I think I'd be sweating down if I was sitting in a
Well,
74
then you
degree
would
room
definitely be sweating down at whatever 74 is in
in
Portugal.
Portugal right now.
Yeah.
Now, is it the humidity? It's the humidity that'll get you. Because
No, because it
oh
doesn't feel humid so much. Like I've been in humidity.
yeah,
This doesn't feel humid so much. It just feels like hot. And it doesn't feel like dry air either. Like it doesn't feel like Arizona, but it doesn't feel like Vietnam, right? It's sort of
yeah,
somewhere,
yeah.
just Kentucky, Indiana, like
Like,
normal humidity.
it's our humidity can get bad. Like I walk outside sometimes, and I feel like I'm standing next to a pool. Like I'm like it feels like you're in a like feels like you're near a pool. It's so
See,
humid.
that's what I would like. I would
So
like to walk outside in the evening and have it feel cool. But
I did
no, me like
in a
it's
pool.
96.8 degrees.
96 inches, Mika. That's crazy. I'm so sorry you're going through that right now, Mika. We were just having a heat wave, and it's been in the 90s, the mid 90s. Sorry, the mid 80s. But do you guys have air conditioning over there? You better.
No, Mika says no AC because it's bad for the environment.
Do you
Here's
not?
what I love about the EU is the EU does seem to be really taking climate concerns very, very seriously.
Now, is it that you're not allowed to have AC because it's bad for the environment? I don't know why I'm blurry right now, but I am for some reason on my end.
I don't
Or
know
is
why I'm super crisp and clear. Normally, I'm super blurry when I try to use my
really
camera.
okay? Interesting. Um, but is it that you're not allowed legally, or it's not recommended, or do you not use it because of the environment? Because I get
So in
totally.
Portugal, they're allowed. I have American friends all over the place that have installed air conditioners in
Good,
homes that they
good.
bought.
Those people are using their, I don't know, some part of their brain that's, I don't know, smart or something. Now, if you're not,
Or they're not using any part of their brain that's smart because smart would be like you don't blow up the world just because you're a little bit hot. That's my
I don't
climate change. That's my environmental promotion of the day.
yeah,
My
I'm
Portuguese
like,
friends don't use it because they're like,
let's
why? Why would we
what,
use it?
why is it blowing up the world? And I'm curious because I've never, now I'm
Well,
curious.
because the world, like, if we don't do something about climate change, Tina,
Okay,
we have like 5 years left before the world is uninhabitable.
I think 5 years is a bit of a close thing,
It
but
might be a bit of an exaggeration, but for a lot of people, it's not. Already, for a lot of people, their place on the planet is uninhabitable.
I know that's happening. I'm not my parents don't believe
Including
in
many places in the United States who are
are
seeing massive hurricane seasons and they can't survive. Like you can't rebuild hurricanes, fires. Like
yes.
anyway, I'm on my
I'm
soapbox.
not
I'm going to get off my soapbox.
I believe in climate change way more than my parents do. I believe in climate change. I am here for it. I'm not here for I think we can do things without totally destroying our quality of life. And if I can't have an air conditioner going, I might, I'm not gonna be happy at all. I'm gonna hate everyone. I'm gonna hate everyone and everything, and I'm never gonna be happy. I'm never gonna do anything. I need air conditioning. So my curiosity is,
Well, yes, because
what
you are American. That's a uniquely American point of view.
I can't. If it's I went to my brother and sister-in-law house. Love them. They just had their 2nd-year wedding anniversary. And they didn't turn the air conditioner on because of the price. And it was 80 degrees in that house. And I damn near I damn near slept with this shit. Like I was like, oh my Lord. And I didn't say anything. And they were like, were you comfortable last night? I'm like, what's a breakfast? You know what I mean?
Well, you're going to be really uncomfortable when like your home is underwater. Or when like fire rips down your mountain, right? Like there's uncomfortable now and there's uncomfortable later. And I guess we all have to weigh
I don't
the
here's the
uncomfortableness of the whole situation. Like it's just a whole big thing that
don't
arguably you're too young to have done. I probably contributed to because I'm old enough to have been part of the giant problem. So
I don't think I mean I could be
yeah.
totally wrong, but I don't think climate change is right on our doorstep. I don't think that I also think that like it's gonna happen regardless. The ice age happened, and all these things happened naturally. Maybe it's God's plan. I don't know. So I don't really like. I care. Sure, yeah, but like the Appalachian Mountains have existed since before trees existed. They're going to continue to exist. We don't get really tornadoes. We get floods. We live on a hill. The people that don't live on a hill, I feel horrible for them. We know them. They can come up here and stay at our house when their houses get flooded. We tell them that. I don't know. I'm not like worried about it. Also, what is it hurting for me to have an air conditioner in? So I have I have a window air conditioner. It plugs in. Yes, it sucks electricity. Yes, our electric bill's high. But it's just pushing out hot air. That's all it's doing to the outside, to the like. I'm curious why it's so bad. It's too bad for the environment. Is like HVAC too bad? Is like HVAC that's the problem? Is like burning energy? That like am I using this as burning energy for the power plant and using coal or something like?
All I know is that, and I don't know much about it, but I know it's something about carbon emissions.
It's emitting. I thought it was just emitting hot air. So, I don't know, but I could be done about this.
I don't know anybody who has AC here in Germany. Yeah, the only people in Portugal that I know that have air conditioning are Americans.
I hope it's not a crime.
Americans. Like not even the British have it. I don't know. Like I don't know anyone other than Americans that have air conditioning in their homes.
Because we're used to it.
I will say, I was in Lisbon a couple weekends ago, and like the hotel I stayed in had air conditioning. Some of the restaurants I visited had air conditioning. I was actually quite surprised.
So you can go in. You go into shopping. You walk in from the outside into the inside of your local grocery store, and it's not immediately a different temperature. It's immediately cold, immediately shocking.
No.
That's the terrifying part too, girl. What the heck?
Now, here's the thing, though. It is
cooler
inside buildings. Remember my winter situation where it's 45 degrees in my house, but 65 outside? The buildings are built to be cooler. So, yeah, I walk into the supermarket and it's cooler, but not because the air conditioning is running.
That's crazy. That's
right. I stay in my house because it's cooler, but not because my house is air conditioned.
Yeah.
So like home places are built differently.
And I like my temperature inside the house. And I used to like it I used to like it at 57 degrees. That was my prime temperature. I like to live at 57 degrees in my room. Then mold started happening. It was an issue, whatever. So it's now about 70 degrees. So 70 degrees for me is nice. It's regular. I just like I'm in t-shirts and shorts right now, and I have air conditioning that's damn near almost blowing on me. I actually turned the vent to my closet so I don't have to have it hit me. I don't know, but I like I don't know. I like the cold. I just can't.
Air conditioning in my hotel. I'm not gonna lie. I slept great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I cannot be hot when I sleep, and I am hot. I wake up sweating every single night, even in the summertime, even with air conditioning on.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the rest of the world. Okay. In Germany, we're allowed. It's just heavily discouraged because it's just making climate change worse.
Okay.
Climate change is already happening. It's man-made. We're literally a few generations away from humanity dying out.
Few generations. Okay, so 100.
Well, from humanity, from there being no humans left on the planet. Like, we're not talking about there will be like 50 humans. I think we're closer than a couple of generations from that. But no, maybe like 2 generations. Like your grandchildren will not exist, right? You will not, your grandchildren can't live on the planet because it's uninhabitable, right? That's 2 generations. Your grandchildren.
Okay. It's uninhabitable in
the entire planet, uninhabitable.
60 years. I'm assuming I'll be 80. Yeah, I'll be 80 in 60 years. Yeah. So we have 60 years left. I don't know. I haven't seen the effects of it in my areas. Like,
well, you have. You just aren't acknowledging that it's climate change. You've said we've had mudslides, we've had floods, we've had all of this. You've had a lot more of it lately than ever. Like, that's the thing. It's all just ramping up. It's not like we've never had a hurricane before. Of course we have hurricanes, but we haven't had hurricane seasons in the US like we've had them in the past 4, 5, 6 years.
See, I wasn't conscious. I was just like, I don't know. I was just like floating around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's what I was saying originally. Europe is a lot more conscious, maybe is the word we're a lot more conscious of climate change, a lot more interested in doing things to try to slow it down.
Yeah. It's man-made. It was also interesting. I assumed it was just, I don't know.
I think the acceleration of it is man-made, right? Like there's always cycles.
God cranking the heat up, you know what I mean? Like
we're cranking up the dial. Yeah.
Like God's turning the heat down. Let's do the ice age. Let's bring.
Like it used to be millenniums, right? We would go millenniums, right? With very slow, and then it's not like all of a sudden the ice age comes, unless that was like the asteroid that hit. I don't know, and that would be all of a sudden. And that might have been the ice age, not climate change. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
It was the fact that the clouds happened from the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, that did the ice age. But like that's also natural. I don't know. I guess I've never thought about it this way because my dad's very anti it. So even like me being like, oh, climate change is a thing. Temperatures are rising more than they probably should, and we can do a little bit here and there. And my dad's like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, that's a pretty progressive belief. And y'all are like, no air conditioning, I'll sweat to death. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm okay.
Yeah, the US is way behind on this, like way behind.
Yeah.
Everyone laughed at Al Gore, right? Turns out Al Gore knew it all.
Yeah. We're also so much more what's it called again? Americans are very what's it called?
I'm not going to say what I think it's called.
You might be right.
You say what you think it's called. I'm not going to use any words.
We're like very this is a fake tattoo. We're like not centralist, like scented, like we're less like collective and we're more like individual people.
Yes.
What's that called? Yes. You guys know what I mean, probably. So we're very like, if I'm fine, then I don't really care. And like, I'm not saying that's like the most moral standpoint to have, but I mean, it makes sense because, like, if I'm fine, then I'm fine, then I'm alive. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Yeah, that is a nice way to sum up why everyone in the world hates America.
They
Yeah,
can hate us and we'll
that's
be fine.
probably not the attitude in anywhere else I've ever lived. It's not that attitude.
It's not
It's
that.
very much a community focus. We're all in this together, society. Like even when I was growing up, we actually had like, what do we call it in school? It was civics, like civics classes. Like we're all part of society, and this is what it means to be part of a society. And that I don't know when that broke down in the United States, but it definitely did.
It's also, there's a lot of like, I mean, there's definitely smaller groups, right? There's like your neighborhoods, your towns, your areas. But then you are fending for yourself in a way, especially in a rural area. It's like, we are like, we definitely have people to lean on if we needed to. They do as well. Like when the floods happened, my parents helped them like bring stuff out of their garages and put it into ours, and like, you know, kind of hauled the chickens up to the areas where there wasn't a flood so they didn't drown. Like my parents were helping with that and stuff like that. But there is kind of a just do your own thing kind of in this area. I mean, I don't know, you have your own land to tend to, your things to do and stuff like that. And my parents wanted to live out here to be away from people, especially other people. So I don't know.
Especially all the other people.
Especially other people that didn't have the same mindset they did. They're very conservative. So they're like, we want to be out here. We want to be alone. We want to be, you know, live in the middle of the nowhere. At least my dad was like that. And I was like, sure, I guess I'll do that too.
All right. Hey, Paula.
Hey, Paula.
Okay, we're doing book club sprints ourselves. What book are you
Fun.
reading? Had to pop in and boop the like button. Thank you. Thank you. If you're still here, what book are you guys reading over there?
Yes. Good question.
60 years might be a bit too pessimistic. Okay. But life is going to be miserable for sure.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I also think that like I guess I have a more religious view on the world. So I don't like I guess I'm a little bit like about those topics, I guess. You know what I mean? So like the world's gonna end when it's meant to end. That's how I feel about it. I was thinking about that the other day with the war stuff going on. I'm like, war's gonna happen and we're all gonna die. And I'm like, hold on, that's not accurate to the religion I believe in. So that made me calm down. Like, it's gonna happen when it's meant to happen. Gotta relax. So yeah, it made me feel better. It made me feel I was terrified for like a couple of days, and then I realized that, and I'm like, I feel much more calm about it. I'm less worried all day that anytime I hear a plane go overhead, that's, I don't know, somebody dropping bombs on us. You know what I mean? Like, so it made me feel less afraid. So I don't know.
All right. Until the bombs start falling, and
Until
then
the bombs start falling. You know.
No, I mean, look, I agree. You don't borrow trouble from the future, but you've got to be aware of what the future is bringing. And if you can do something to change the future and make it a better future, I think we need to do what we can to make a better future.
Yeah.
To the extent that we can. Yeah. If everybody does nothing, then yeah, it's 60 years. Like, yeah. I think we're only maybe 60 years is only pessimistic because there are people and there are nations that are doing something to try to stop, or not stop, to try to slow the warming of the planet. But it's certainly not enough. It's certainly not happening fast enough. So anyway, that's why we don't have air conditioning.
Okay.
All right, I guess I'm gonna keep Paula. I think Paula has gone back to her sprints. I wonder what you're reading over there.
Yeah. Mika Kujak.
Mika Kujak.
She's probably subscribed to them. I think I'm also subscribed to her too.
I probably am too, but I'm not on the YouTube. I'm on the StreamYard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna leave my air conditioner on though, unless it's too loud.
You know what? You do what you need to do.
Yeah. Because say right now, as I said,
Because there is an argument to be made that what private people are doing now, where we've gone beyond the point where anything private people could do could ever make a difference.
Yeah. So.
And it's nations that have to act.
Yeah.
Which is why I appreciate Europe, because as a continent, I feel like Europe is acting.
Yeah. Agreed with that. Yeah. We're definitely, I don't know if, is Canada doing anything? Is Mexico, I'm assuming, like, is South America doing anything? I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know, but Canada is very much aligned with Europe. So I imagine they are on par with what Europe is doing. And they just don't have the same mindset as the United States does. So, yeah.
And I feel like things change here a lot more every 4 years. Like, when there's a new president, everything shifts around. And then new president, everything shifts around again. So it's like, it's hard to, like, Europe feels more like steady. Within
no. Europe's not steady politically at all, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Like, okay. I didn't know that. See, I don't know nothing about Europe.
No, there's anti-immigrant sentiment everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And there's, socialism, people that love the socialism, people that don't love the socialism. It's everywhere. It's politics. Like,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't really know much about anywhere, to be honest with you. So here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like we've lost Mika too. We've lost Mika. We've lost Paula. We don't know they're probably reading a more interesting book over there. And that's why we've lost everyone. Wouldn't it be hilarious if they're like reading some kind of apocalyptic climate change kind of
book
there?
Very funny, yeah.
You'd be like, Treehouse sprints are canceled. We're going to Paula's.
Yeah. Canceled in more ways than one, right?
Yes.
I'm canceled, yeah.
All right. So I literally don't know where anyone is. It's like radio silence. Do you think it's like where we're frozen or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I hope not.
We've offended everyone.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't want to read Good Neighbors by Chad Zunker. Sorry, Chad. We were going to have a great discussion of your book. And now what if there's climate change in this book? What if that makes the good neighbors or the bad neighbors?
Bad neighbors.
All right. I don't know anything about this book. I haven't looked at the blurb to even know anything what it's about. So, but I'm guessing if there's good neighbors, there have to be bad neighbors.
I'm assuming, yeah.
And somebody must get murdered, right? Every one of these alibis things we've read, someone's been murdered.
We're getting murdered, yeah. I do hope this book is like a domestic thriller, like it's kind of
like The Housemaid.
Yes, kind of just like the first two in the series, like more like about these people's lives and murdering that's afoot. Maybe women doing some murdering and not just like weird, strange stories. I mean, you liked the last one, right?
I really liked the last one. Yeah,
I was not that one much. So I don't know. I hope it's just like I hope it's like maybe like a domestic thriller, like cheating and murder and women being wild and crazy and maybe mental illness.
Mental illness.
It's always mental illness that's thrown in the end. Oh, that girl's crazy. Oh, she's a psychopath. Oh, she's stabbing people behind her husband's back. The housemaid, right? There, all this stuff's crazy.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. Well,
but maybe I'm totally wrong. Mika's here.
I don't know. We'll see. This is our third one that's like super short, right? My thing says you can read it in under an hour.
Yeah.
What does your audiobook say? Like, how long is it on the audiobook? If we read the whole thing straight again.
This, I don't think my TV says it.
Oh, okay. Mika, I need to leave in about 90 minutes. Okay, so we should start reading.
Yeah.
Mika, does your audiobook, how long does it take? How long is it going to take for you all to do the audiobook? Because then we'll decide if we're probably doing it one straight through.
Yeah.
But if for whatever reason it's like a 2.5 hour audiobook, that can't be right.
No. I think it's going to be about 30 minutes.
On double speed?
Yeah.
Or on whatever speed you're doing. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think it's going to be a lot like the last two that we read.
Yeah. It doesn't say how long it is on my
Right.
thing.
I'm going to keep my banner then that we're going to read the whole thing straight through. We're reading all of the chapters. Say done when you finish the book. All right. Are you ready? I am ready. Okay, good. This meant we're reading all of the chapters. Say done when you finish the book.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I will see you guys in a little bit when we're finished the book.
Yes.
All right. Ciao. Okay, I think we're all done.
Yes.
The question is, are we all here?
I think
There's people we should say hello if they're still here.
okay, yeah.
Hello. Hey Dinesh, are you still here? I don't know. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. If you're still here, are you reading this book with us?
Yes.
I hope you are. It'd be kind of cool. And Casey is here.
Good. How you doing?
She's done.
You're awesome, Casey. We love you for that. For reading prior, so you can just hop in and be like, well, I read too, so.
I love that she was like, I'm gonna be late, so I'm gonna pre-read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. We love it.
Had to shower and eat. Yes. I was like scarfing my food right before we started. Sorry, I just put candy in my mouth and it's like super juicy.
You're fine. Take your time with it. When you have a chance, let me know what kind of candy it is.
Ooh,
yeah,
sweet.
very glad you read. I absolutely loved this. I was totally just like spitballing. I had no clue what this book could be about in any way, shape, or form. And I just hit the nail right on the head. It was fantastic. I loved it. I was so shocked that it was this good because the last two have been like misses for me. But yeah.
Yeah, this one was good. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. So what kind of candy was it?
It's like.
Okay. Huh. Some sort of, okay.
It's like fruity, chewy candy.
Okay. Yeah. We like it. We like chewy.
Which is why my mouth is all like juicy right now because it's like fruity. It's kind of like Starburst, but they're bigger.
Okay. Is there a center?
No.
Just juicy. Okay.
No, this is just spit.
Okay. Well, I want candy so bad right now.
You know, the saliva breaking down all of the sugar and garbage in the candy. Yeah. All right. I'm going to skip ahead of all of the hellos.
Okay.
I was reading at 7 a.m. Oh, boy. You were planning ahead.
Yes.
Oh, I really like this one, too. I was so scared for the window peeping wife.
I know.
And I was like, am I going to be mad at her for for doing this? But then I was not at all.
I mean, I was a little bit mad at her, but like not like a ton. Like at first I was afraid that when we got the husband's perspective and then we went back to her perspective, before we went back to her, I was afraid she got kidnapped. And it was the first chapter would be her perspective and the rest would be of him. But it was a little like I don't know how to describe it, like back and forth with like her almost getting together and seeing each other and then separating and them almost getting separating. So it was a little bit frustrating with that, but it was a short book. It was good to have that element. That's an element you have to use very sparingly, and the short book is the perfect time to use it. And I think he did it. I'm assuming it's a man. I think he did it well.
I agree. I feel like this is maybe the first book that we've read that seemed like really a full book.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. That it really did sort of like the whole story was encapsulated. Like there's nothing more to the story, right? Like the story began and ended, and he did it all in however many pages, like 50 pages or something, whatever it is, in less than an hour. Okay. And I was like, and he kept me like, I didn't know what was going to happen.
No.
I didn't know like who the killer was going to be. I kind of thought there would be some kind of one of those weird, like the wife is in on it kinds of things, but I didn't think then that I had no idea. And I sort of was like, when the husband took off running after her, I thought that the guy chasing her was the husband, like that she thought it was the killer, but that it was actually the husband, and that the husband thought he was chasing the killer and they were going to end up in a dark alley and the husband was going to kill the wife. I don't know. I was like, where are we going?
I wasn't thinking that at all. I thought they knew each other because the cowboy boots, and he wasn't wearing cowboy boots. She would know.
Yeah, but the husband didn't know that the murder. Yeah. Well, that's true because she would know.
But also
that he wasn't the killer. But if it's a dark alley and you're in the shrubbery, I don't know.
Your wife's wearing pajamas. You noticed the pajamas. I don't know, but I wasn't thinking that.
Oh yeah, maybe.
True.
Anyway, that's not where I went. So yeah. Woo.
I think I maybe disagree with that, as in, like, I think that the first two books were were really good, like, they felt like they were full stories. Most everything was flushed out. There was a little bit, I guess, of plot holes in book 2, but not in a bad way. I think that they were also all tropes that needed to be short stories. I mean, I would say book 3 or book 4. Book 4 was also a trope that needed to be a short story. But and book 3 just sucked. But so maybe
we all agree on that.
but they were all just tropes that needed to be short stories. If they were stretched out, it would have frustrated me way too much to enjoy it.
1 and 2.
I think 1, 2, and 5 have been just really enjoyable. They just were, I don't know. I love them. But
I enjoyed 1, 2. Did I enjoy 1? I can't remember. I enjoyed 2, 4, and
1 like 4, like 3.5.
Yeah, I feel like I was okay with. I definitely didn't love. I don't think 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I really liked 4.
Yeah.
And this one I really liked too.
Okay, cool. So what do you think you're rating? And what do you guys, everyone else as well?
Ooh, so I think I would give this, like, if I had to compare this one to the last one, I actually would so I gave the last one 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this like 4.75.
Okay.
Or 4.99 maybe. Like, if I had to like one more than the other, I think I liked the Skydivers more than this one, but this one was good. I like this one deserves probably 5 stars too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I can't think of anything wrong with this book.
No, yeah. I did. The only thing that was a little bit confusing, and for me, it's always characters that gets confusing.
Yeah.
Is that I was confused about Chad, or what? Not Chad. What's his name? Thomas, the killer.
Oliver.
Oliver. Yeah, I think that's it. Just kind of like a little bit more than a generic name. It's not like a classic generic like white boy name. It's a little bit more, but it's also classic Oliver. I didn't know who Oliver was. I was like, is Oliver the husband? So I was not her husband, but who is Oliver in the story? And then I thought, like, I was confused, but here we are.
Yeah, I guess I thought Oliver. You're right. I didn't know who Oliver was, and then when he was in Sheila's car, I thought, or whatever her name was, I thought, oh, he must be Sheila's husband, and I was like, wait a minute. So Sheila's husband is having an affair with dude's wife.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, there's like, this neighborhood is like out of control. But then I think Oliver stole his neighbor's car, which I'm like, in the middle of a crime scene, does nobody see that Oliver is jumping in his neighbor's car and driving away?
Oliver is married.
Is Sheila's husband?
Yeah, Oliver is Sheila's husband.
Oh, okay. Because they kept talking about Sheila. It's Sheila's SUV. They're going to know who Sheila's SUV. And I was like, okay, but who is Sheila to Oliver?
How would you take your wife's car to go kill the woman who saw you kill your mistress's husband? The hell? But here we are, right? Clearly, they're crazy people. They're also not even like.
I mean, to like be willing to have your friend murdered in front of you in cold blood, that's cold, you know? But I guess, I don't know, you're desperate. What are you going to do? She's like not going to keep your secret. So
yeah,
I guess you have to kill her. I don't know.
And the minute she took the wrong turn, I went, oh, it's her. Like, she is not her as the killer. I assume the killer's a man, but like the whole time. But like, I mean, we do find out in the beginning that he's a man, but it was like, I guess it could have been a woman. But I was like, oh no, it's something that's happening. Like you were saying, like the wife organized it, which she did.
She did.
I was thinking a hired hit. Not.
I was too sort of thinking that.
Yeah.
It's like your neighbor, you get your lover to do it. Seems maybe she would, I don't know. Seems like not the greatest plan. A hired hit would be better, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. What do I know?
I don't.
But Mika is right. The husband was like the hero. If
Absolutely.
he had just like stayed put at the crime scene, which is what I probably would have been like, just stay at the scene of the crime. Your wife will show up when she shows up. Like, stop running all over the world looking for her. But if he hadn't been running all over the world looking for her,
He wouldn't have, yeah.
then
He would have if he didn't run to the scene and then have that exact conversation, he wouldn't have ran. It's just, oh my goodness gracious. I'm really happy that they're okay. I thought that cute. I was so afraid it was gonna have like a book one ending, like death. But no, I was just like, oh, this is great. They're happy, they're cute. And the line about having their kids sleep in bed with them for the next couple of days, that just warmed my heart. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
yeah, I was like, you've jumped the shark. It's like, no, that's a little too much for me at the end. That gives it the 4.99. I didn't like that.
Really?
Who wants their kids sleeping in the bed with them?
Okay, you're not saying because it was too sweet. You're saying because that isn't a good. You shouldn't be doing that, or
No, I'm saying because it's cheesy. I also don't know that you should be doing it, but I get why you would. Like, your kids are freaked out. You like, I mean, yeah, it's
safety
not like
wise,
sleeping in the bed all the time, but yeah,
like 3 or 4 is a kind of, I think safety wise at 3 or 4, they have control of their emotions and all like their movements, and also they're not like flinging themselves everywhere and potentially dying. That they're also able to kind of like fight a little bit for you to notice it. Like, I think 3 or 4 is a fine age to have your kids in bed with you. And I just think it's cute because I had separation anxiety growing up from my mom, and I feel like I kind of still do, to be honest. So I was always, and my room was their room because, my sister had a room, my brother shared a room. And so it was kind of just like, I would sleep in bed with them a lot because it made me feel safe. Just kind of, and the idea of just like, and at the end when she said that, it was kind of like, it just made me feel like the feeling, and this is going to sound so strange, but the feeling of thinking about your parents is just like, my anxiety just fades away. It's just like peaceful. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet that they love their kids. And you don't read books.
And they love each other. And that's a nice book to read. Like, where people do love each other.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. Ooh, Casey's giving it 4 stars. Being a good friend can get you killed. Yeah. Isn't this what we learned? Like, just stay out of your neighbor's business.
Yeah.
Is that the lesson of this book?
Yeah. Stay out of your neighbor's business. Don't
ever go to their house in the middle of the night.
No, I didn't realize it was the middle of the night, but like, that's just like, until like at the end when it was dark and like it's the middle of the night, I thought it was like the morning time. But such a classic thing to be snooping in windows, being like, and then you run around to the other one.
Don't look in your neighbor's windows. No snooping around the outside of your neighbor's house.
But it is kind of like cartoonish, like 80, like Mickey Mouse, like
yeah.
I don't know. And
of course, like she knocks the window when she's like, oh, he just shot somebody, and like knocks the window, right? Yeah. I'm like, come on now.
You know what it did feel like? It did kind of feel like Desperate Housewives.
Yes, it was a little Desperate Housewives, and all the neighbors come out. That's like the scene that I was picturing on the street, like the cul-de-sac, right?
Yes. I started watching it recently, and I watched the first 4 seasons, and then I stopped because I just was like, I know spoilers, and I know it gets kind of like bad and cringy after that, so I stopped. But it was just so like, this Island have so much murder in it. I thought it was not. I thought it was gonna be pretty peaceful, just like drama, like bake sales and casseroles. But like, people are cheating, murdering, hitting people, burying bodies, faking babies, stealing babies.
Are you watching this on YouTube? Where are you watching this?
I'm watching it on Prime Video.
Okay. Because I'm like, that's a series that I would go back and watch again. I didn't really watch it that much when it was on. Like, I wasn't a devoted follower of it. And then I just completely forgot that it even was a thing. That was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I don't like the concept of like Desperate Housewives. Like, I think if you're an adult woman, you should do what you want and not do what society's saying you should do. It just frustrates me because I'm like, you're 30 years old. Like, just don't do what you're doing. Just do something else. It's frustrating as someone who isn't in that predicament.
Everyone's life is frustrating when it's not yours.
Yeah. But I think the later seasons, out of clips I've seen on YouTube, like those like fake, those like stolen clips like that, and just like playing with slime or whatever. It I feel like the later seasons are gonna be worse with that because there's a time jump and couples who've been waiting together forever get divorced. So the first 5
I
seasons,
do not remember any. I really don't remember any of this.
the first 5 seasons were good. The first 4, sorry, 4, they were good, but there's lots of murder afoot. Like in the first season, like there's a, I'm gonna give some spoilers here. I hope that's okay. Like somebody's Gabrielle's cheating on her rich husband and with the lawn guy, and then Gabrielle's mother-in-law is coming to stay over, right? And Gabrielle's mother-in-law is coming over to be like, I'm gonna catch y'all in the act. And then she runs out of the house to go tell, Gabrielle's husband, hey, yo, your wife is sleeping with the gardener. And then a kid comes by and hits her, and kills her, puts her in a coma.
Oh, I don't remember any of that.
Many seasons. Turns out the person who hit the mom, Juanita Solis, hit Juanita, is actually the neighbor across the street's son.
Okay.
And the neighbor across the street and her husband are fighting because he's cheating and he is into BDSM. And she's real Christian, real conservative. She's not into it, but he's making her do it kind of. And they are fighting, not sleeping together. They're sleeping. He's sleeping on the couch. She's kind of with the pharmacist who's poisoning him. And it's this whole thing. Okay. So they go and they hide the car because they have to stop their son from getting arrested. And then years later, when the neighbor has a new man's, people think that he was the driver. People think, no. Oh my gosh, that guy accidentally, or actually on purpose, her new husband, the neighbor across the street, new husband, runs over the other neighbor's fiance, and he gets into a coma, and then she falls in love with someone else. It's this whole big debacle.
I feel like they need speed bumps on this street.
Yeah.
This is the moral of your story. We need a speed bump. So that people can't drive fast enough to run over people.
Killing people. Right. Yeah. So then everybody finds out that her new man's was the driver, and everyone's pissed at her. Even his wife, who hid the fucking car from her kid hit and run somebody. And she never tells her husband, hey, you did a hit and run, and my son did a hit and run too, and I covered it up for my best friend. From my best friend. So it's crazy. And then season 4 ends, and I'm like, girl, you don't tell your husband you're mad, you're pissed at your husband, but you don't tell him you did the same thing? You're crazy, you're stupid. And I stopped the show. I love Brie, but she's wild. She stole her daughter's baby, which is unethical, might I add. They're pretending that it's her baby, and they're not telling the kid that it's her baby. So they're saying, oh, I'm your mom, but I'm really actually your grandmother, and we're not going to tell the kid that I'm your grandmother. That's not right.
I mean, this is the kind of stuff that good TV is made of. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I ranted there. Oh my gosh.
I was like, I don't know how we got onto this. Oh, the street.
This book
from the neighborhood and the neighbors in the street.
Yeah.
All right. So Mika says it was a great short story. Mika, what are you giving it? Okay. Now I have high hopes for the final book. I know, me too.
Yes, I do. Hopefully it lives up.
I hope it lives up. We end with a bang.
Yeah.
Like we started good, and then we went down a little bit, and now maybe we're going to end really good. I missed that part too. Okay. I don't know what we were talking about when you said
forgetting about maybe Oliver, or either not knowing who Oliver is, or maybe talking about Desperate Housewives and they're running over the car, the murdering.
Yeah. I don't know.
But sorry I got off topic again, guys.
We started talking about the neighborhood. Our neighbor once came to our garden in the middle of the night. Oh my gosh, because he thought some stranger was trying to break into our house. Spoiler, it was my husband trying to set up his telescope. See, this is what's scary, because what if he like accidentally injured your husband, thinking your husband was a intruder? Also, that's a nosy neighbor.
Yeah. If
Like,
anything
I
is,
get that you want to protect your neighbors and their house, but like maybe you just call the neighbor and say, "Hey, I just saw somebody go
or
into your backyard."
911. I don't whatever maybe.
Maybe. I don't know that I am gonna just leave my house and go chasing an intruder.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't have done
But I'm
it.
not a man. You notice all of these people are men. Mika, was your neighbor a man? Maybe it's the fact that women, we know, like we're not going chasing after intruders. We
No.
will fight if the intruder comes after us, but I'm not looking for trouble.
No. And here's the thing. Neighbors will be crazy any day of the week. Neighbors on my street, when I'm growing up, they heard gunshots, they heard people trying to break into our house. They said, "Huh? I didn't hear nothing." Every single time. Because anyway, not important. Anyway.
Oof. No,
you never know what neighbors
to be like, yeah. The neighbor took a risk to protect our house.
You guys,
like, I can appreciate that. Like, I like that. But I don't know that I don't know that I would take a risk to protect somebody's house when you could also call the neighbor and say, why don't you call it? Like, is there someone really like, and you know what? If I didn't get a hold of the neighbor, like if I called them and they didn't answer, then I would maybe call the police.
Yeah. And if I don't have their number, I'm probably going to call the police. Yeah. I'm not.
What am I saying? I don't know any of my neighbors' phone numbers.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I have gone, like when I hear active fighting, like when I lived in New York, I had neighbors upstairs that was like total domestic violence. The guy was beating his girlfriend constantly.
Oh my gosh.
And I was always going up there to knock on the door to be like, what's happening here? Just to let her know that, like, look, if you want to come down to my apartment, we'll call the police and we'll get this taken care of. And he usually, I don't know if he stopped beating her, but that he was much more quiet in his beating after I left the house. But she would never come downstairs with me.
Yeah.
Or do anything. So I guess like that's the like when someone's physical, like is like I can actually see physical danger, then I think I'll take the risk.
Yeah.
But I don't know that if I saw someone sneaking around the house, if I would go chasing.
Yeah. I don't, as a woman, I don't know if I would be.
Now, if I heard screaming coming from inside the house, right, I would definitely be calling the police while I'm running over there.
As a woman, I don't know if I would 100% call I would call the police in all scenarios with the girlfriend, with the neighbors upstairs. I would either call the police or I would.
I don't know why I didn't call the police.
Or I wouldn't go somewhere myself because there's a man up there. He could have a weapon, or he's violent clearly, and he could probably. I mean, you're a lot smaller.
No, I 100% knew going up there that there was a chance that he was going to like do harm to me as well.
And I'm not.
But it was loud enough that I knew that everyone in the building was hearing it. And so I was like, look, if I'm going to go down, like at least everyone in the building is going to know that I went down, and hopefully someone will call the police and like catch this guy or, you know, do whatever.
That's crazy. That's amazing you did that for her. Hopefully, you know, it helped. It seemed like it maybe helped. I don't know. It
helped because he never really stopped. I mean, he would stop for that day. Yeah. Or maybe he just strangled her then. And so we couldn't hear like that day. I don't know. But he kept doing it.
Maybe he threatened her and she stopped screaming.
Right.
So I would have called the police. I don't know. I don't think I would have gone down there because I'm just like, I don't know. It's hard. Obviously it's hard. I mean, you're not saying you did the wrong thing. Of course you did the wrong thing.
No. And I don't know why I didn't call the police. I think I just felt like I would let her decide if the police should be called. I don't know. You can't let someone who's in that situation make the decisions, right?
Exactly. Yeah. True. I don't know. And if I heard someone, here's the thing: if I heard a child screaming, and like I thought they were in danger, I think I'd.
Yeah, if it was a child, I would have done something different. But I think I thought she's Yeah, I should have. I was young and didn't really know. I
Yeah.
didn't understand domestic violence as much, right? Nobody talked
Yeah.
about it back then.
Really.
Nobody talks about it now, but
Look,
yeah,
now
I
all
should
the
have
time.
just not given her a choice in it. But I don't know. I guess I thought she's a grown woman; she can make her own decisions. I just want him to stop beating her up right now,
Yeah.
and then let her know that like that she doesn't have to let this I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway,
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
we had a domestic violence situation near us too, where like our neighbor and his wife, they would like beat each other up and stuff like that. Like they were also insane. I mean, crazy stuff was happening over there. And they I guess used to live right next to us, but they moved a couple houses down. And then their son lived right next to us, and he was crazy. They were shooting each other. They were I think I'm pretty sure they well, I'll say this online.
When
They
the
were
guns are out, I'm definitely calling the police.
I'm pretty sure they were cooking next door. Because of course they were. And so it was kind of like, oh, he's always doing it there, and then he gets shot, and then, whatever. But it was just, yeah. Now it made me could see why my parents like we're moving to the middle of nowhere. We gotta just get away from people who are doing something like that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was kind of like we didn't call we called the police when we heard stuff, when we could, but also like my parents were not close with them in the sense like they weren't involved in anything they were doing, obviously, but they were like my mom was childhood best friends with that girl who was beating up her husband, and her husband was beating up her. They would go over to each other's house all the time growing up, and so they knew each other. But once violence started happening, my mom kind of pulled back. But like they were also like, if you call the police, like they were like, we don't call the police, we handle it ourselves kind of people. And so they were like, I'll kill you. Not I'll kill us, but like if
Right.
you call the police, they're gonna go over there with a crowbar and beat the guy's head in. And that's how they're gonna handle it. And that's what they did. It was like crazy Irish people. I'm also Irish, but like crazy, insane people. So
Yes, violence is hardly ever the answer.
no, it is not. Yes. Yeah, yes, it's still an answer.
Okay. So Casey loves the Desperate Housewives, and she also loves the Real Housewives.
Okay.
I've never watched the Real Housewives.
I've never either. No. It's a reality show, right?
Yeah, and there's like a bunch like the Real Housewives, and there's like 17 different cities or something where they have these in.
Oh yes.
Okay. I've never watched it, but I know what it is, obviously.
Yeah.
I've
never watched it either, I don't think. Is it L it's not TLC right now.
Oh.
TLC will go crazy with a show. TLC will go crazy.
I have no idea.
They had
here's what she missed. Oliver being with Sheila. Yeah, I missed that too.
Yeah. Oliver and Sheila were married, I believe.
Yeah. Our neighbors are great. They're super helpful.
Awesome, yeah.
Oops. Wait a minute. Okay. Hey, if you call the police here, you have to wait half an hour at least. We don't have a police station here, so they need to come from the neighboring city. Okay, so if he thought you guys were in danger, he could have called the police, but then he also was like, I got like
yeah. And
yeah.
Men do that. Like that's what, like as you're saying, like that's a man thing to do, I feel like, to put yourself in danger like that, to like go out and see what's going on. And I feel like women, I think people know and like give that to women to be like, they're not gonna like if you're a man straight on the side of the road, women aren't gonna stop for you, and you shouldn't be mad at them that they don't. Like that's just the reality of life.
Right. I think we're more aware that like we are easily overpowered.
Yes.
And men are not so aware that they are also that they can also be overpowered, right? I think there's this sense of, well, I can take care of myself, which may be true, but women are always like, look, I can take care of myself, but I 100% know that when push comes to shove, I'm going to get pushed and shoved, and like I'm going to try to keep myself as safe as I can.
Yes.
Okay.
Dallas. Okay.
I'm in Dallas. I watched Dallas back in the olden days when it was very first on.
Okay.
The very first episode I was ever allowed to watch was Who Shot JR, right? Season opener. You don't even know this. You were not even born at this time.
I talking about Real Housewives Dallas.
Oh, is that what you're
Wrong.
talking about? Real Housewives Dallas? Oh, and I'm thinking of like Dallas with J.R. Ewing. Oh, you're right. I didn't know there was a Real Housewives Dallas.
So, what is this Who Shot Dallas thing, though? What do you mean? The first episode of television you watched was Who Shot Dallas?
No, the first episode of Dallas I was allowed to watch because Dallas was like a grown-up show, a grown-up like soap opera that like I was a little kid and we weren't allowed. Please, we couldn't even watch like Three's Company. My mom thought that was, floozies. I'm not putting my little girls in front of a TV with like floozy Chrissy with her ponytail on the side of her head. We couldn't watch it because Chrissy was a floozy.
And you also didn't have access to it. Like me, like my mom said, "Oh, you're not allowed to watch this," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll watch everything except this. That's even worse."
Oh well, and also we were not rotten kids like you are. We were like, "Oh, we're not allowed to watch it." Okay.
I respect.
We just accepted. We were like, okay, fine. Our mom knows what's best for us. We got other things to do. I don't need to watch Chrissy.
If my mom, here's like, I would watch the show. Like my mom said, you're not allowed to watch 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm like,
you would go and watch it immediately.
And I know I never watched it. I've never watched it.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't watch it. But you know what? I will read everything around it, every other book that anyone recommends that's similar to it. And then I was like, I thought my plan was to read 50 Shades, not watch them, gross, read them on my 18th birthday. But by the time I turned 18, I wasn't reading romance anymore.
Found other stuff to read. Well, good, because the writing in that, like that, I'm not even going to get on to that topic of 50 Shades of Grey. All right, so Dallas, The Real Housewives Dallas is on Bravo and the Peacock app.
Yes, okay.
Oh, and Mika's correct. Nobody has guns here. But still, I wouldn't want to run into someone in the dark with a knife.
Criminals don't have guns there. I thought criminals, I mean, like, criminals, I thought, like, criminals are breaking the law. Criminals will find guns, right? They're not going to respect the law of don't have guns. Or maybe they will.
Know that people can get guns here.
Yeah,
like, I think the thing in the U.S. is because, the Second Amendment, like responsible gun owners are allowed to buy guns, which means also then that irresponsible people have guns.
Find them places, yeah. And they're gonna. I mean, even if we outlawed them, there would still be lots of them in circulation, and then criminals get them legally.
I don't know that there would be. There are states that have pretty good laws where you don't see guns running rampant.
Really? I thought there was a lot of like shootings in New York and stuff, right? I mean, Philly, I think Pennsylvania was pretty strict, and my dad got shot up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not like, nobody has guns here. Yeah. So I guess you don't worry about getting shot. But again, I don't want to run into a butcher knife.
No, I think a butcher knife is also kind of worse. No, like I'd rather be shot than stabbed.
I mean, I don't know. I've never been shot with a knife. I have cut myself. I haven't like stabbed myself, but either way, both of those things, I want to die peacefully in my sleep.
I want to die. I don't want to die in my sleep. I am terrified of that, but I do want to die peacefully. I want to die on hospice. I want to die on hospice, old, to be like, just give me more morphine, please. And then just kind of float out. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking.
Float out. Yeah. All right. So Casey is talking about the Real Housewives of Dallas. Sorry, I misconstrued. I got very excited.
So you were a good kid growing up. You listened to your mom every single thing, and
well, it just seemed like it's so weird to me that kids these days have so many things to do.
Yeah.
And yet what they seem to be doing is like crap.
Yeah. They seem
to be drawn to all the crap. Whereas us, like my mom was like, yeah, you're not old enough to do that. Like this is a grown-up thing. And so we were like, okay, I'm going to go color in my coloring book. We just were quite happy to be children, I think.
How old were you when you weren't allowed to watch the show?
So 6th grade was when JR got shot.
So 13.
Well, 5th grade, he would have got shot. And then the next season when they opened up, it was like, well, who shot him? Right.
Okay.
So 6th grade was when we were allowed to watch that episode of Dallas.
13, right? I think you can do like the grade plus 5 because kindergarten and then you're 6 on that. So
okay, so yeah, I was 12 or 13, yeah.
And you weren't allowed to watch. Okay. So
And it was really, we only got to watch that one episode.
days of our lives, right? It's like it's
Yeah, because it was like everybody was talking about it, and I think we were like, "Mom, who shot like, what's this? Like, somebody shot JR. We need to be able to find out who shot him." Like, we didn't even know what was going on, right? It was like the topic conversation everywhere. Who shot JR? Who shot JR?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I ever watched any other episodes. That might have been the only episode I ever watched because I was like, yeah, this is too grown up for me. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, at 13, I was watching a lot of, here's the thing. I had older siblings. They were telling on me. The minute they saw the show I was watching, they were like, Mom, they're talking about this and this and this, and she's not allowed to watch it anymore. And Mom was like, okay. And I'm like, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and watch another show that's worse than this in my room by myself. I'm not going to tell you what I'm watching anymore. And that's just the way it was. Because I was like,
see, okay. You got the benefit of being the youngest, where your parents were like, we are tired of raising children.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, isn't that normal? Like, you just kind of.
Yeah, I think that's totally normal. And then the older kids are like, wait a minute.
Like, the thing is, and I guess the way I see it is, I think that, like, kids are going to do crazy stuff. They're going to do things they shouldn't be doing. They're going to, watch things that they definitely, I'm talking about, like, real stuff that they really shouldn't be watching, but it's like, it's what kids are going to do. I was reading when I was reading. Do I think I should have been reading what I was reading then? No. 15-year-olds shouldn't be doing that, but, like, 15-year-olds are going to read it. Let them read it. I don't think it was great for me, but, like, you're not going to stop them. And if you know and they're doing it, it's better than you not knowing they're doing it. Because if you have a relationship with them, they're gonna be doing much worse stuff. I wasn't going out and getting drunk. I wasn't going out and being with boys. I wasn't going out and doing all this stuff. My dad had a kid when he was 17. So, like, and he and his parents, like, he was out doing whatever the hell he wanted, whenever he wanted. And I'm just in my room watching some things I maybe shouldn't have been watching and reading. Okay, I think it's fine. I think it's much. My dad's also like, if you had more life experience, like, I kind of wish you went out there and, like, did some more stuff. But I'm like, it's also like, it's good that you also didn't get to do a lot of that stuff. Like, so I don't know.
I don't know.
The thing is you kind of have to balance, like, screen time with, like, real time. And I think I had a good bit of real time growing up. Like, we always went outside and played, and we went to, like, the splash pad and, like, hang out with my friends, and, like, I did outside things. I guess I wasn't just unsupervised. Other than me being in my room, I was almost always supervised. So, yeah.
So I was in my room all the time.
Yeah. I was in my room all the time, just reading books that I probably shouldn't have been reading, and I was watching TV 14 shows,
Well, yeah, that's right. TV 14.
But they're pretty, like, depends on TV 14 show. Like, have you ever watched Crazy Ex-Girlfriend?
No, because again, like, I'm not a big TV. Like, we didn't grow up watching a lot of TV, and I just never got into it.
Yeah. It's a modern show. It was from CW in, like, the teens. And it was just a little bit, like, there was musicals. It was pretty sexual, but it was TV 14. And I was like, I'm going to watch on the TV downstairs. And my mother's like, no, you're not going to watch this anymore. And I'm like,
yeah. Like TV 14 too, or like the TV in general these days is a lot more risque than it was when I was a kid.
Yes, it is. That's true. Yeah.
We very rarely have crimes with guns. Okay. And if we do, it's mostly in the very big cities. Crimes with knives, yes, unfortunately. Hunters who can prove they're regular hunters can have guns here, but it's not as easy as just buying a gun. I sneaked with my friend when I was 5 to watch Halloween.
Okay, fine. And I wasn't a horror movie person, but I knew people who parents let them watch horror movies like that.
Yeah, my grandfather one time tried to get us to watch some scary movie. Like, what's the one with the twins on the tricycles?
It's a Stephen King book.
Yeah,
The one with the, I think, not Misery, not It, not Under the Dome.
Shining.
What?
The Shining.
The Shining. Yes.
Yeah, my grandfather, I remember he was babysitting us one night and he was watching that on the TV and he was like, "Hey, you guys want to watch this?" And we started to watch it and I was like, "Nope, no, I do not want to watch this.
Yeah, no,
I do not want to watch this at all. I'm going to go color in my coloring book.
Yeah.
I'm a child. I'm not going to watch this."
Yeah. Yeah.
She was 3 years older. Yeah, I never had any older friends either. I only ever had like grade level friends. And then I was the oldest kid and the oldest grandkid. So like everybody, like all my cousins and everybody was younger than me. So it was only like me and like kids in my class. And then, my younger family members. So I think I never got, not corrupted, but I never got influenced by the older kids because like there just weren't any.
Yeah. I mainly, like, other than my siblings who didn't corrupt me, like,
no, they were the opposite of corrupting you.
Like, she's not doing that, she's not watching this. No.
Yes.
Because they were significantly older than with me. So they were like, I know what 13-year-olds are doing. Don't
yeah.
Like, hey, I've heard rumors about this book. Apparently, I really questioned her about it, and it seemed like my sister didn't read the Harry Styles fan fiction after. But she was like, "Mom, don't let her read it after. Don't let her read it." And I'm like, "Can I read it? Can I read it? Can I read it?" And then I eventually wore my mom down, and she let me read them. But
do you think she read them before you did, like so that she was like, "Okay, this is what she's going to be reading, and I'm okay with it"?
Or my mom? What do you mean? Who?
Your mom? No, she didn't read them before you did.
No, and if she read them, she probably would have taken every single book off my shelf and like.
Oh, or maybe not. Maybe like I know my mom sometimes like there were super popular movies that she thought like, and she was in education, right? She was a teacher and then she was a principal. And so she kind of had her ear to the ground of what kids our age were doing and into, good and bad. And so she started hearing like, oh, there's a movie coming out that the kids are going to want to watch. She would go like, as soon as it came out, she would go and see it.
Oh.
So then, and I don't remember her ever telling us that we couldn't go to a movie.
Okay.
Or that we couldn't rent, like we would rent movies from Blockbuster every weekend, like with our friends. And there was never anything that was off limits. But I think she always was like available, like, because she knew what had happened in the movie. So if we wanted to talk about it, or if it was something that she didn't talk about with us, like, I don't know, the sex scene in Top Gun or something, which she never did.
Yeah.
But something like that, where she was like, all right, I just need to be prepared.
Yeah. My mom was always.
Maybe your mom did that with the books.
My mom didn't do that because I remember we were talking about something, and then she was like, "What if I read this book before I gave it to you for Christmas?" I'm like, "No, whatever." And let's keep watching the show. We were watching the show, and she was like, oh, "I've never seen you do it before." Because I'll talk, as you can clearly see here, I'll talk and I'll tell you everything about everything. But I was like, no, because that was a kidnapping romance, and I'm like, she can't know the heinous things that are happening in this book. She will not let me read another word ever again. So I was like, no, it's fine. But my mom was like that, where she would be like, shoot, I'm here for you. We can talk about whatever you want. I brought up very strange things to her before. But she didn't, like, she wasn't prompting anything. Like, she was very just like,
right.
You can tell me, literally, you can ask me any question under the sun, and I've asked her very strange questions. But she's like, I'm not prompting you. You're gonna figure out everything by yourself. And I kind of just like, I don't know.
Figured everything out by yourself.
You're figuring everything out by yourself. I don't know.
Here we go. My brother was 7 years older than me. Like you're so much older, like your family.
Yes.
Oh, he liked to force me to watch horror movies because he was kind of a dick.
My
gosh. I no.
My my older siblings, so my closest age to me is 7. And they were not like that at all. Now, they were like, get out of my space, leave me alone. Reasonably enough, I was a pretty annoying child. But they did not do stuff like that. I'll tell you right now. Because I would tell Mom every single thing. I would also be a tattletale. And I also like to scratch. And I very often scratching one got in trouble for it. And if you do anything to me, I'm biting you. And I was always my response. Anytime my brother like grabbed me, I would just bite him. So, or my sister grabbed me, I'm scratching her. So they were just like, get this thing away from us.
I can't imagine being forced to watch like horror movies.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, they didn't. And anytime I didn't want to see anything like that. Like I didn't watch horror movies. I couldn't even watch The Hunger Games. I
couldn't watch The Hunger Games either because I was like, I just can't watch a movie about children killing other children. Like it's just, I can't. And so I feel like there's like a classic book, the ones where they're on the island. And they're like,
Lord of the Flies.
Yes. I feel like one of my friends was reading that when we were little and she was like, oh, you should read this. And I started to read it and I was like, no, I know.
Really? Even as a kid, you couldn't watch
Even as a kid, I was like, this is like brutal. I like can't, I'm so sweet and innocent. Yeah, I was like, no. And no, Casey, I don't want to get scared. And so I'm not going to read the sequel to The Shining.
I'm very curious about the plot of that because I recently watched someone reacting to The Shining for the first time ever, and I got really like to know the plot and like stuff like that. And I know the second book follows, I believe, the son and him coming back to the hotel or the place they stayed. So
I didn't even know there was a sequel or that they made a movie out of it. Dr. Sleep is the movie.
They made a movie out of the sequel. I guess maybe they did. Maybe they did.
I don't know.
I don't know. If they did, I do want to watch a reaction to it then because I'm really curious. But
Casey says it's so good. I think Casey is really, really crazy.
I kind of want to read it a little bit. I kind of want to read another Stephen King because I read that other like the Stephen King that's completely different from the others.
Yeah, and you didn't like it, did you?
No, I didn't like the ending.
Did you like it up until the ending? Or not? Really?
Yes, it was enjoyable up until the ending. It was very interesting because it was something I really don't read. It was very interesting to the ending. The ending, I just thought that should have not.
Okay, wait. I'm not going to say a spoiler, but if you're going to read this like book, mute me for a minute because I have a question for Tina.
11/22/63.
Yeah, by Stephen King. If you're going to read that book, mute me for just like 5 minutes because I don't want to spoil anything, but I have a question. Okay. 3, 2, mute.
Spoilers. Okay, go ahead.
By the end, are you thinking like when the monster like comes into play? You didn't like that part?
What? I forgot about the monster. No.
Because that's the part that I was like, what the hell is this part?
I was like, time created a monster, right? I didn't like, or like a time warp or whatever. I didn't like that they didn't end up together. I thought that was stupid and dumb.
No.
I thought they should have stayed in the time because I try not to apply my morals to the books I read, but I'm like morally against time travel. And so I'm like, just don't mess up time. And the minute you do, just stay where you are and just love this woman. Because clearly when you go back, it's not going to end well. And then he shoots her. And then I'm like, you're an idiot because you shouldn't have changed time anyway. So I'm pissed at him. And then he's going back and forth and reversing things. And there's chemicals and that kid's just like already disabled. And I'm like, you're an idiot. You're stupid. This book was dumb. So that's the minute she got shot, I'm like, okay, I'm done with you guys.
We're done.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're not talking about 11/22 anymore. So you can come back. Come back. Everything's okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Where are we at now? Let me see. Okay. Casey's laughing. The sequel to The Shining is one of your favorite Stephen King books?
Okay, you read a lot of them?
Horror. This is what I think is true. I bought the movie. It's really good.
Okay.
I'm going to read Fairy Tale by King next month. Okay, is Fairy Tale another scary one or not?
I don't know. I think it might be not.
Because if it's not, I also might want to read. I might want to read it. I keep thinking to myself, I want to read another Stephen King book because he's just so good.
Yeah.
But scary stuff I can't do.
Yeah,
And then like Fairy Tale is sort of a new one, no?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, ooh, if it's not scary, maybe I would pick it up. I don't know. Oh, I need to log out soon. Yes. Okay. So we got to speed this up then. Muting. Okay, good. Not scary, allegedly.
Okay.
Ooh.
Interesting. Now, I mean, next month is in August? Or next month, you're a little behind.
Yeah. What do you mean you're going to read it next month? My favorite king is Billy Summers. Is that one scary? Because I remember somebody saying something about Billy Summers too, and it was probably Mika.
I don't know if I've heard of that one. I watched a Misery reaction, and that wasn't that scary.
Oh no, there's just like a scene that like I want to vomit right now just even thinking about it.
Really? Is it like
like
setting the leg situation, or is it just like, see, that's, I mean, we can get through that, but it's like once you get through that, it's just him just being like kind of pale-tasted, and as I said,
then it's not all that scary, right? Yeah.
Read a lot of kidnapping books. Like, I think I can tolerate this one, you know.
I was told to read Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury beforehand, and I read it last winter.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. I haven't read that one yet. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll look at Billy Summers, and then maybe I'll look at Fairy Tale. And Lily, what do you mean by next month? Like July, or do you mean August? You're going to read, or you want to read? I don't know if you've actually planned to read it.
Because maybe we could read a King in August then, if we can do August.
Yeah, the thing with King is he's so long, right?
Yeah, true.
So August. So maybe it's August and September then. I don't know.
And
is this something we would want to read together?
Yeah.
Fairy Tale?
Or
let's look at it and think about it. Maybe. Yeah.
Or if we wanted to, maybe we could read a different one. Maybe Billy Summers is a little bit spooky. Maybe we could read that in, September, October, be a little spooky season.
Oh.
I don't read spooky books, but I mean, I could. I kind of do want to read a spooky book.
Oh my God.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm jumping too far ahead. I'm sorry. Back up. We'll read it. Maybe we'll read this one in August and September.
I mean, like, to be fair, I've never read a scary book.
And the thing is, scary books.
I've only watched them in the movie. But here's what I know about reading. My imagination is so much better than what I see on TV. And that's why the reading of it makes me think I would be even more scared. But maybe not. I don't know.
What's interesting about it is, for me, gore is much less, like, I can read gore all day long. When I watch gore, it is too much for me. Yeah. If you're reading a book,
I'm okay with gore unless it's like I had a hard time reading that book where all the women were being like murdered and mutilated. That was
yes.
That I was like, I can't read any more of this. I don't want more of this. I can't do it. It's too much for me to.
Yeah. And that for me.
But that's not scary.
No, it's real life horrifying.
Yeah, real life horrifying, which is why I supposedly real life. Oh, this is not even true. Remember at the beginning of Layla by Colleen Hooper. Yeah. I was like, I can't read any more of this book. And you were like, come on.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. That was a good one.
I think there's a ghost. There's a possession. I'm too afraid.
And then you were like, I didn't even agree with you at the ending. I didn't even think that was unconsensual. And you were like, that's unconsensual. I'm like,
it is.
No, it's not. That's her own body.
The person did not consent to the other person entering their body. That's non-consensual.
She was already being kidnapped. It
was not sex, but it was non-consensual.
It was someone already possessing her body, and she was repossessing it and reclaiming it. that bitch shouldn't have been in there. That's what I'm saying to her. You know what I mean? Like, get out of my body because I need to be with my mans. Okay.
Oh my God.
We won't spoil anything until we get a chance. Okay, sorry.
All right. Okay, Billy Summers, not one of the supernatural ones, this is Billy Summers, right? It's about a hitman who is forced to stay in a small city for a few months, and he really wants to be an author, so he poses as an author. Well, this doesn't sound scary at all. Oh, it's heartbreaking though. Look, I like a little heartbreak.
I hate a little heartbreak.
Billy's life was awful. He never really had a chance to lead a non-violent life. And it's King. So, of course, Billy cannot just lead a peaceful life now.
That
okay.
Sounds like it would be the premise of a Nora Roberts book, but then it turns like sad at the end. Like a Nora book would be like kind of like Witness, right? She's her life, and then she finds love and hope and family and, you know, all that jazz. It lives happily ever after in this town.
Okay, Fairy Tale is 597 pages. How long is a normal Nora Roberts book?
I would say about 4. Let's check undercurrents.
Okay, so it's another 50% longer.
What are we looking at here? We're looking at 430.
Okay. So
everything is going to be about that. It's going to be about 10 to 14 hours long. Let's see.
Okay.
What's this? This one is almost 5.
So it might be a 2-monther or a 6-weeker if we did a Stephen King, which we've done before. What was the book that we read that we did, like, it took us 6 weeks to get through it?
Was it?
It's the last one we read.
The
Daisy Darker. Was that it? It took us forever to get
no, it was the one with the murdering, the one with the women being murdered.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Which ended up being like a good book, I think, but it did, like, I wasn't sad that it took us forever to get through it. I was fine with that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's think about if we want to do Stephen King like August and September, or if we want to save Stephen King, like you said, for like spooky season, even if he's not spooky.
Yeah. And maybe I'm still trying to push my Nora agenda here. Maybe we could, for what we're gonna do in July.
Yeah, what are we gonna do in July? Next week.
Here's what I'll do. I'll look for some Nora that are mysterious but also shorter. They're not like super.
Yes, give us the shorter Nora. I'm up for a shorter Nora. Are you guys up for a shorter Nora for the rest of July?
Maybe like 10 hours instead of like the 16 of like the past ones. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we're meeting tomorrow though on Tina's channel.
Yes, I have to schedule it still. Sorry.
Okay. Tina's channel tomorrow, regular time for the very last book in Alibis.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. I have high hopes for it. I feel like it is like they're going to end on a really high note.
I'm hoping so too.
Yeah. I
guess we'll see.
All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. This was a super fun one. See you guys tomorrow.
See y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.